So here's a question I think a lot of us wonder about. Can you actually make your baby smarter before they're even born? It sounds like science fiction, right? Well, today we're going to dive into the real science of early brain development and see what it actually says. Okay, so let's get right to the biggest myth out there. You've probably heard it a million times. Intelligence is all genetic. Smart parents get smart kids, and that's the end of the story. But is it really that simple? Not even close. Here's where it gets super interesting. Look at this. Yes, genetics are a huge piece of the puzzle, somewhere between 50 and 80%. But look at that other slice. The environment plays a massive role, accounting for up to half of the picture. And a huge chunk of that environment is what happens during pregnancy. The big takeaway, you have way more influence than you probably think. All right, so if you can make a difference, where do you even start? Well, you start with the literal physical building blocks. We're talking about the specific nutrients your baby's brain is actually using to build itself, brick by brick. First up is the absolute superstar, DHA. It's a type of omega-3 fat, and let me be clear, this isn't some nice-to-have supplement. It's the main material your baby's brain is made of, seriously. Especially from 20 weeks on, it's like peak construction season, and your baby is basically a little DHA vacuum, pulling all it can get directly from you. And this isn't just a theory, the research on this is rock solid. Kids whose moms got enough DHA during pregnancy have been shown to have better attention spans, sharper memories, and even stronger problem-solving skills down the road. It's like a long-term investment in their future brain power. But here's where it gets a little tricky. You've got to understand the omega battle. Now, I love this analogy. Think of your baby's cells as having a limited number of VIP parking spots. Both omega-3s, our brain builders, and their cousins, omega-6s, are trying to get into those exact same spots. And here's the issue. Our bodies evolved to handle a ratio of about 1-to-1. But our modern diets, oh man, with all the processed foods and vegetable oils, that ratio is now skewed to as high as 20-to-1 in favor of omega-6. Now, omega-6 isn't the bad guy. We need it, but it's just crowding the parking lot, leaving no room for the brain-building DHA. So the strategy isn't to cut out omega-6. It's just to consciously boost your omega-3s to make sure they win those all-important parking spots. Okay, so while DHA gets all the press, it's the A-list celebrity, we need to talk about choline. Think of it as the brilliant, underrated supporting actress who does all the hard work behind the scenes and is just as important for making the movie a hit. It is absolutely essential. So what's its job? Well, choline is critical for building your baby's memory centers and for neural tube development. And get this, it's been shown to improve their information processing speed. I mean, how cool is that? A major study at Cornell University found that babies whose moms had more choline could literally process information faster. And you can find this powerhouse in everyday foods like eggs, especially the yolks, beef, and chicken. Okay, so we've covered the fuel, the building blocks. Now let's zoom out and look at the construction site itself, the environment you're creating. This is all about how your own physical and emotional health directly talks to your baby's developing nervous system. This one might actually surprise you. Did you know that when you work out, you're giving your baby's brain a workout too? It's true. Moderate exercise gets your blood pumping, sending this supercharged flow of oxygen and nutrients straight to the placenta, which is basically the brain's fuel line, and the results are amazing. Research shows these babies often have more mature brain activity at birth and are even better at handling stress. And the best part? We're not talking about training for a triathlon here. Just 20 minutes of something moderate, like a brisk walk, a swim, or some prenatal yoga a few times a week, is enough to make a huge, measurable difference. Remember, this isn't just about your fitness, it's about their neurodevelopment. Now, on the complete flip side of exercise, let's talk about rest. Sleep is not downtime. For your baby, it is go time. It's when the heavy construction really happens. See, while you're sleeping, growth hormone is peaking, stress hormones are resetting, and all those amazing nutrients are getting delivered most efficiently. Your baby's brain is literally being built while you sleep. Okay, let's talk about the big one, stress. Your emotional state is like a broadcast system, sending signals directly to your baby. And let's be super clear, everyday stress, a traffic jam, a work deadline, that's normal. Our bodies are designed to handle that. We're talking about chronic, unrelenting, high-level stress. That's different. That sustained level of stress hormones, like cortisol, can actually cross the placenta and start to shape your baby's developing nervous system. All right, let's get into our last section. This is all about the direct connections you can make, what your baby can actually hear,
and experience. And of course, the stuff we need to steer clear of to protect that precious brain.
This part is just so cool. Around 25 weeks, your baby's hearing is fully online. And they aren't just hearing muffled sounds, they're actively learning. Studies have shown that newborns actually recognize stories, songs, and voices they heard over and over in the womb. So when you're talking, reading, or singing to your belly, that's their very first classroom. It's powerful stuff.
And of course, protecting that brain also means avoiding a few things. We all know the big ones like alcohol and smoking, but it's also about being mindful of the other things on this list, like too much caffeine or that out-of-whack omega ratio we talked about. Really, the goal is just to create the safest, most stable little bubble you can for that brain to do its incredible work.
So, we've gone through a ton of science. DHA, choline, exercise, sleep, stress. What does it all really boil down to? It's that all these little pieces come together to point to one really powerful idea.
So here's your simple action plan. And please don't look at this as a stressful to-do list. It's not about being perfect, it's just about being mindful. Focus on those brain-building nutrients. Move your body in a way that feels good. Rest when you can. Find little ways to manage that chronic stress. And connect with your baby. Talk to them. Because every one of these things helps support a healthy placenta, which is your baby's entire world. And honestly, if you take away just one thing today, let it be this. Because more than any single supplement or any specific exercise routine, your overall well-being is the ultimate brain booster. A mom who feels supported, who feels safe and confident, that's what creates the absolute best environment for a baby's brain to grow and thrive. And really, that's the most powerful science of all.